bipartisan political systems. Most of the governments of the apparently post-Enlightenment Western democratic world are somehow trapped in a peculiar clinch of red versus blue and left versus right. How can we ever find freedom in that direction? Our next guest, Christina Tobin, will be talking to us about new forms of institution, system and democracy. Before we meet her, have a look at this.
The two-party system is really one party. It's a business. As of now, it benefits the two-party system to keep it a very archaic system. Third parties had to get 25,000 signatures in Illinois to get on the ballot, while it was only 5,000 for Democrats and Republicans.
Hey, you lot, please welcome to the stage, Christina Tobin. Hello. Nice to see you. Be comfortable in this environment and have a microphone. Christina, thanks very much for joining us today on Stay Free with Russell Brand. We want to talk to you particularly about free and equal elections. What is the Free and Equal Election Foundation? Tell us now that we all understand whether we're black, white, straight, gay, trans, or a new, vibrant, thrusting WNBA player with a fine set of testes.
Well, I think you just described it.
Which bit?
Well, I mean, all of it. We include everybody. We're all inclusive, free and equal elections. I'm an election reform expert.
What do you mean by that?
Well, in 2008, I worked as the National Ballot Access Coordinator for Independent Ralph Nader.
Sorry about
that. So I saw the flaws, the fundamental flaws of the electoral system as a National Ballot Access Coordinator. I've coordinated millions of signatures to get candidates on the ballot, and that was the beginning of my career in sparking free and equal elections and starting it in 2008.
Christina, Ralph Nader, he was an independent candidate. Bobby Kennedy, Secretary Kennedy, ran, of course, as an independent candidate, and maybe no one's made so much impact as Ron Paul on the several times that he ran as an independent candidate. What is the significance of independent candidates? And when you say free and equal, what do you mean free and equal? What needs to change for it to become free and equal?
We need to replace the two-party system with independent candidates, or no longer beholden to the party system. Amen. The Constitution.
People love this idea.
Yeah, the Constitution.
They're clapping, they're drinking. One guy took down his shorts. Christina, why is this idea rousing such passion?
Well, I mean, the Gallup poll says there's over 45%, it's probably over 50 now, 50% of voters are independents, more than Democrats and Republicans combined. Our forefathers in the Constitution, there's no mention of political parties. They warned us, right? That political parties are evil. And as they become created, I've seen it within the National Libertarian Green Constitution Party, the third, fourth, fifth largest political parties. As they become larger, they inevitably become infiltrated. So in 2008, after serving as the ballot access coordinator for Ralph Nader, which takes over 900,000 signatures for an independent to get on the ballot, it's only 25 or 50,000 for D's and R's. That's unconstitutional. That was the creation of Free and Equal Elections when Free and Equal hosted the first nationally televised presidential debate outside of the Commission on Presidential Debates.
So, mate, I was just thinking what a monumental task you've set for yourself there. And I was thinking of how idiosyncratic, even once in a millennia type political figures like Trump. And I say that from a kind of, as best as I can, non-partisan perspective. Like even Trump, one suspects after some time in office, a person who reformed the Republican Party in his image seems to, when it comes to very particular and very significant issues, geopolitical issues, and I mean, for example, the Iran war, seems to be conformed to a set of ideals that are extra party political. What I'm trying to say is, whoever you are, however strong you are, however unusual you are, however brilliant you are, it seems that there's something in that system that produces the same outcome and result. And I like your observation that the Constitution doesn't talk about a bipartisan system, that it really focuses on flourishing independence. I've noticed a weird thing in our culture, and even today's story about Jason Arday, God rest his soul, is kind of emphasizes it, that the culture seems to be able to keep us in a sort of stranglehold, that wherever we go within that clinch, we're going sort of where they want. You know, when child psychologists tell you to control your kid, give it like 2 options. Who would you like to clean your teeth? Me or you? Ha ha ha. Either way, their teeth gets cleaned. Like, so it's like, we're that. We're that. Whether you vote for the Democrats or the Republicans, you're having a war with Iran. Whether you vote for the Democrats or the Republicans, you're getting that COVID shot. So what is this extra power and where is it coming from? I noticed something interesting when watching a documentary about our very own John Lennon with Yoko Ono living in your great city of New York, that the culture war around the time of Richard Nixon was eerily reminiscent of the culture war now. You had a kind of conservative Republican movement undergirded by a sort of, it seemed to me, a somewhat shallow Christianity, and a countercultural movement with some rather brilliant orators and brave figures that were interested in compassion and stuff, but their ideology was not rooted. It was not rooted. So if we're going to start messing with these systems, as you want to, Christina, what is the ideology that you have recourse to that's going to make it not be, I don't know, anarchic or chaotic?
We elect candidates not beholden to special interests. AIPAC, for example. I was out in Kentucky at Thomas Massey's home. Actually, in 2024, Representative Thomas Massey, you almost joined as well as a co-moderated with me, that is, for our presidential debates. Well, in Kentucky, I saw this guy named Pete Hegseth come in and support his opponent that was funded $35 million from AIPAC. Knocked Representative Thomas Massey out of office. So what we need is an independent, what we need is an independent paradigm that's larger outside of the system, because the Republicans have rigged the system and left the independents out in the cold. And as this United We Stand tour, which Free and Equal Elections launched in 2014, simultaneously doing presidential debates every cycle since 2008. You may have seen me co-moderate in 2012 with broadcasts the late legend Larry King reaching tens of millions. I realized in 2014 when my hero, Dr. Ron Paul, former congressman out of Texas. Yes.
People like him.
Yeah, I love him. And I've met him 3-4 times this last year. And he said, if we're ever going to bring about revolutionary changes, 2 things would need to be involved: the youth and music. United We Stand Festival, the Ross Perot words. And so what that does, what the tour now is breaking out to a tour, we can talk about it next week, August 26th through 28th. United We Stand is taking place at Shelter Island at the Ram's Head Inn, where Oppenheimer and all the physicists came together, right, around the nuclear atomic, that is, bomb. And so to bring peace and
Can I say, Christina, that wasn't a good thing.
No.
That led to that terrible, terrible atomic attack on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I like to go to the belly of the beast and bring the meetings of the minds.
Go to the belly of it.
That's where we're going.
What? So
you're going?
Hold on. What is this? We're going to. It's not Shutter Island, the Leonardo DiCaprio film.
Well, it could be.
It's Shelter Island. Now, one of the people that seems to be there is I live inside of. Me, Russell Brand. He's there.
Yes.
So I'm going to be there.
You're going to be there.
What's going to happen?
You're going there. You're going to have a meeting of minds. You're going to sit next to Joe from Texas on Social Security form. In 2032, Social Security is going to be cut by 22%. So if you're retiring right now, by the time you're in your 70s, your Social Security is going to be cut back by 22%, 2032. So that's one of the speakers. We have Patrick Burns of Overstock. Wow, election integrity. He talks about the Venezuelan, how the elections have been, predetermined for quite some time. We have a lot of people that are going to be a part of it. Joby Weeks will be joining us via live stream. I'm going to be going to his place after this.
It's very expensive.
Ron Paul. Huh?
Look, it's very expensive, $250.
Yes.
Can't you give away some for free?
I'd love to.
Give away 10 for free to our viewers.
Yeah, let's do it. 10 tickets for free to Shelter Island. It's 150 people.
It's not Shutter Island. Just clarify. It's not that mental asylum where Leonardo DiCaprio was in the movie Shutter Island.
But it is an island.
And people might go crazy while they're there.
You got to take a ferry to it.
Oh, man.
You're going on
that
a ferry.
freaks me out. Once you're there, isn't it?
You are there.
That's the horror of a ferry.
We're going to talk about national security, social security, to the debt, to data centers.
I don't like talking about stuff like that. I don't understand it. I'm confused by it.
You'll learn from the experts.
You're actually quite controlling. For someone who wants to make the system less controlling, you're being very controlling to me.
Well, you're the first one to tell me that.
Good. Well, someone should have stepped up. I'm going to gang up with Thomas Massey, Ron Paul, all these independents, and we're going to somehow have to make it clear to you, Christina, that you've victimised us onto your own personal island of Dr. Moreau, which, as far as I know, might be full of genetic freaks all running around like that mouse with an ear on its back. Remember that from those experimentations and cloned creatures. So what we're going to go when we're there, we're going to learn about free and open elections and electoral reform that's meaningful, so that you don't have the sort of endless clinch of two political parties that where it's fundamentally important agree with one another, i.e. where both parties agree with one another, you have no freedom at all. Now, what I agree with is decentralisation, mate.
I want to talk about that. That's the bigger project. The debates, United We Stand Tour. All right, United We Stand Tour is kicking off at Shelter Island. We're already slated to go to Art Basel at the Ritz-Carlton December 3rd, Sagamore. And throughout the tour in 2028, United We Stand is going to present the presidential debates. We're incorporating decentralized blockchain technology into the tour. In 2024, over 60,000 people voted via ranked choice voting, instant runoff voting, who would be the top 6 in our debates. So as we have that tour, the people are going to poll, they're going to be interactive. We're going to list every single candidate running for office in that app, including independent candidates on a decentralized ledger.
Okay, brilliant. Well, just by a show of hands, who thinks that what Christina's talking about is necessary and important? Mertz, film this. Put it by hands. Who thinks she's right? Who thinks she's wrong? Anyone? All right, did you get that, Mertz? But hold on, we just got to wait. It looked like you won, but we've got to wait for those mail-in ballots. Oh, the mail-in ballots have just arrived. No, I won. Okay.
Well, they're controlling the election. Texit Coin, so grateful. Digital asset coin out of Texas. They put up hundreds of thousands for Ron Paul's 90th birthday. Honored to have them. Joe from Texas, who emceed Tucker Carlson's tour. Joe Kent's going to be a part of this, too, the former of the Tulsi Cap. I know.
What was Ron Paul doing?
So you can go to unitedwestandtour.org.
There's a link in the description. All right, so
what about Ron Paul?
What can you do at your 90th birthday? I mean, you can't go, make it rain! Whoop, whoop, raise the roof! Or like at your 90th birthday, sit quietly and calmly in case you have a heart attack and die.
Are you trying to control Dr. Ron Paul?
She's got me with my own trap. Ladies and gentlemen, Christina Tobin.
Thank you, well done.